afternoon and good morning for some of you. Welcome to week 3 of our Wellness Wednesday series. I am very pleased to be able to present to you today Christin Underwood, who will be walking us through an interactive session of learning to move your body. Christin's 33 years old, originally from Tampa, Florida, but moved to the West Coast in 2018. She has her degree in criminology and was in banking for 10 years before making the switch to personal training. She's a certified personal trainer from the National Academy of Sports Medicine. She's a master trainer Versa climber. And some fun facts, she's scuba certified, she did competitive cheerleading, traveled to 30 countries in 4 years, and a couple extra special interests are macro nutrition plans and Versa climber group fitness. So if you have any questions, you can put those down in the question or the chat box. We'll answer those at the end. But without further ado, I'll turn it over to Christin to get started.
All right, thanks, Amy. So again, welcome. Good morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. I'm really excited to be here today, especially talking about moving your body and the importance, especially if you're in a job that's sedentary, sitting all day. It's even more crucial that you get some type of exercise in your day, in your routine, every single day. So like you said, I was in banking for 10 years, so I know all about it, sitting at a desk, having your shoulders hunched over, typing, the lower back issues, the weight gain that comes with sitting 8-9 hours a day, weakened glutes, quads, all of it. Being sedentary is a lot. There's a lot of high risks. There's been tons of studies where they have studied millions of people who sit at least 8 to 9 hours a day. They have the same risks of people who are of obesity and who smoke. That's the same risk of not sitting and not using your body, and literally just having all the postural and muscular imbalances that weaken your core from being hunched over all the time. So there's just a lot of a big epidemic as far as sitting all day. So I wanted to kind of go through some quick moves, some quick stretches that you can do to help with lower back pain, tight hips, those shoulders rolling forward, to kind of open up your body, make you feel better, so you can kind of eliminate and alleviate some of those aches and pains that happen and that come along with sitting all day. So I want to try to bring this down so you guys can see me. Yeah, you should be able to see me here. An easy stretch, a nice flow that we do on the left side and the right side. It's going to be called World's Greatest Stretch because it is. It hits all the body parts, targets everything that we do and that we need to open up. So I want you guys, if you can find a comfy spot on the floor, give yourself some room because we'll be stretching out a little bit. Angle this up so you guys can see me. We're going to start with our right leg forward, and your left leg is going to be back. I want you to kind of lean into this stretch, and you should feel it a lot on your left IT band and hip flexor. So really lean into it. If you're here, you're not really extending the hips at all, so I want you to lean in as much as you can at your comfort level. I know stretching can be kind of painful, especially if we're really tight, but we want to open up the IT band and hip flexors. So we're going to stay here for a second. Stay right here. Kind of keep your chest up, and you should feel it all along here, and also in your right foot. Make sure you keep your breathing constant, nice deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. In about 5 seconds, we're going to push our knee out laterally just a little bit to open our glutes even more and open our hips even more. So go ahead and push your knee out laterally. You can do it with the inside of your shoulder if that's easier, or the outside of your shoulder. Push it open. Good. We're going to be here for 3 more seconds. Then we're going to leave our left hand on the ground, and we're going to stretch out our T-spine here. Stretch it up. Make sure you guys can see me here. Okay. So you want to go ahead and rotate your T-spine as much as you can, looking at the ceiling, arm full extended. Keep breathing. All right, let's bring it back down. What we're going to do is sit back now on our left heel. We're going to try to straighten out our right leg as much as we can. And with our left hand, we're gonna grab our toes, pulling our toes towards us. So you should be in that plantar flex position, pulling your toes towards you, feeling that nice stretch in your hamstring and your calf. This one's usually the toughest for everybody. A lot of times, 9 times out of 10, our hamstrings are way tighter than our quads. This one usually hurts the most. But just go as far as you can. If you can't reach your toe, just go to your ankle, go to your knee, wherever you feel that stretch. You got about 9 more seconds. Keep breathing. All right. Now we're going to go into pigeon. So you're going to sit up. We're going to bring that knee forward. The knee is going to go forward here. And you want to try to aim to get your right heel under your left hip. Your right heel under your left hip. And then we want to lay it down. We want to try to get our chest right on our knee and extend your arms out. Really just stretching. You should feel this a lot in your right glute here. Stretch it out. Gonna hold this for another 10 seconds. This is such a great one, especially for waking up and activating those glutes when you're sitting for 6, 7 hours. Great stretch for that. Okay. Now we're gonna walk it up. I want you to try to get your chest up as high as you can. Try to get your chest up as high as you can. And we're gonna take our left hand and grab our left toe. Now we're gonna stretch out our quad. So try to get your heel as close to your glute, keeping your chest up nice and tall, taking deep breaths. Let's hold it here for about 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release that foot. Bring both hands back on the ground. We're going to push into a high plank. And then we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So now we have our left leg forward. We're kind of leaning into it, activating that right IT band and hip flexor. Right here. We're here for another 10 seconds. Make sure you keep breathing. Now let's go ahead and push this knee out laterally. Push it out laterally. You should feel this more in your left glute now. Hips should be a little more mobile at this point. Keep breathing. All right, now our right hand is on the ground and we're gonna pull through that T-spine, stretching again up to the ceiling. Rotating as much as you can, opening your chest up, keeping your heel nice and flat on the ground. Okay, bring it back down. Now we're gonna sit back on our right heel. Right heel. Right hand, left toe, or ankle, or knee, wherever you can reach. You're usually always gonna notice that you have one side that's tighter than the other. This is the side for me. My left side is a lot tighter, so I'm not as mobile or flexible on this side because we create a lot of imbalances based on what we do during the day. Our dominant side is getting more work and more range of motion. So that's completely normal, but doing these stretches on both sides will even it out. Deep breath, we're here. 10 more seconds. Good. Okay, let's bring that knee forward and go into pigeon on this side. Knee forward, again, rule of thumb, try to aim to have that heel underneath your hip. So in this case, it's gonna be your left heel this time, underneath your right hip. Let's fold it over as much as we can. Stretching your arms out. Taking some deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth. I know, again, it can be painful, but just trying to really focus on the stretch and not the pain. We're only here for 10 more seconds. And it will get easier and easier if you guys incorporate this every single day. All right. Slowly walk it up. Get up. We are going to take our right hand this time, grab our right toe. And trying to keep our chest up as high as we can, pulling our glute, our heel to our glute. Nice quad stretch right here. All right, slowly release. And then we can actually go here on all fours, go here. And I want to do one more stretch just to open up our chest and stretch our shoulders. So we're going to be here, making sure that our shoulders are stacked directly over our wrist. We're going to take our right hand and slide it under, aiming to get our right shoulder on the ground or on the mat, and then your left hand is going to extend out fully. Breathe. All right, let's bring it back up to our starting position, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So that left hand is going to come through, aiming to get your shoulder on the ground. Now my right hand is extending out in front. All right. Okay, so now that we've stretched, taken at least, what, I think 6 minutes to stretch, let's start doing some moves. Let's start doing some moves. What we're going to do today is a circuit. We're going to go through the circuit two times. We have six moves, and then we are going to do 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. So 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. So I'm going to go over each move with you. We have a squat, we have hand release push-ups, we have flutter kicks, we have reverse lunges, inchworms, and shoulder taps. So we have 2 lower body, 2 upper body, and 2 core moves that we're going to focus on. So before we get started, I want to go over what those moves look like. Okay. So for the squat, all right, guys, just trying to get this positioning here on my computer today. Okay. All right, so, and you can only see half my body, but that's pretty much all I need to see right now. I'm gonna show you from a lateral view. You wanna make sure that your feet are hip width apart, keep your chest up nice and tall. I like to bring my hands right in front for balance, especially if I'm not using weight, just body weight. And you wanna sit back with your hips. Sit back with your hips, stand up and squeeze your glutes. You don't want to lean too far forward, bringing your knees so far over your toes that you're falling forward, but you also don't want to sit too far back that you're on your heels. So you want to try to just go at a depth that feels good for you right now. We may not be able to get as low as we want to because we need to stretch out, everything's tight, but over time it will get better. So that's the squat. That's our starting with the squat. Then we're going to go to those hand release push-ups, So what we're going to do, shoulder width apart, making sure our shoulders are stacked directly over our wrists. We're going to lower our body down to the ground, release our hands for a short second, and then push right back up. Lower them down to the ground, and then push right up. So those are our hand release push-ups. Then for the flutter kicks, we're going to bring it over on our back. We put our hands underneath our butt to protect our lower back. We don't want an arch in our lower back, so we're going to give ourselves a little cushion here. Your legs are going to be nice and straight. Turn this way. Your legs are going to be nice and straight. And we're literally going to just bring our legs up and down without touching the ground, keeping our shoulder blades elevated. So I always tell people to look at their toes when they're doing this move. Look at their toes. Then we're going to go to right lunges. Right lunges. Standing here, you're going to step back, making sure you're in that 90-degree angle and that your knee is not too far over your toe. And alternate legs. Step back, bring it forward. And then inchworm. We are going to stand and we're going to walk it out to a plank. So you're going to bend it over, walk it all the way out to a high plank, walk it back, stand up nice and tall. Walk it all the way out to that high plank, nice and tall. And then the last one we're going to end in is shoulder taps. So we're going to be in a high plank, or you can be on your knees. And we're going to slowly raise our hands, tapping our shoulder. And the purpose of moving the hands is that we don't want to have any rotation in our T-spine. We want to keep our core nice and engaged, flowing your belly button up into your spine, so you're not doing this. So slow and controlled. Don't worry about going super fast. Take your time and focus on form. So without further ado, let's go through this workout. I'm gonna get my timer. We'll go through all the moves back to back. Like I said, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest, twice through. So, let me get this in here. Back a little bit. Okay. All right, guys. We are starting with that squat. Starting with the squat. In 3, 2, 1. 40 seconds on the clock. Be here. Taking your time. Breathe. Going as deep as you can. Driving through your heels at the top, making sure your knees stay nice and wide. You want your knees to go in, push them out. Open up your hips. Good. We got 12 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, and 1. Rest. All right, we have those hand release push-ups coming up next. We have 15 seconds to rest. So this is the time when you need to grab a drink. Rest, breathe. We got push-ups up next. 3, 2, 1. We're in that high plank. Let's lower down to the ground. Lift the hands, push up. Lower it down, push up. And push. Push. Nice job. Halfway there. Keeping your elbows tucked close to your rib cage. Again, if you need to push up on your knees, if the full plank is too hard, go ahead, push up to your knees. That's totally fine. Modifications for everything. We can progress as we get better. 2 and 1. Rest. 20 seconds. All right. We have those flutter kicks up next. Flutter kicks up next. So remember, we're going to bring it over to our back. Hands underneath our glutes. In 3, 2, 1. So we're here. As you can see, I'm looking at my toes, keeping my shoulder blades elevated. That's keeping my glutes or my core nice and engaged. I'm breathing. Nice job. Keep going, keep moving. In 3, 2, and 1. Make sure you always breathe during abdominal exercises. Sometimes we have a tendency to hold our breath. We don't want to do that. So let's bring it back up. Lower body exercise. We are going into those reverse lunges. So big step back, focusing on keeping that 90-degree angle. And 3, 2, 1. Big step back. Bring it forward. Back. Bring it forward. I'll turn this way. Good. Keeping your core nice and tight, driving that heel, the front leg through the ground as you stand up. pushing away from the ground. And push. Good, we got 10 seconds here. Make sure you're breathing. 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys, doing good. We got 2 more moves of this first round. 2 more moves. We have the inchworm up next. So working our core, keeping our body nice and tight and stable, really being intentional in our movements. I want you guys to stay tight, squeeze your glutes, keep that nice plank. In 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna bend it over. Walk it all the way out, making sure I'm ending with my shoulders right over my wrist. And we're gonna walk it back and stand up. Bring it down, walk it out, bring it back. Breathe. Walk it all the way out, all the way back. We got about 15 seconds, guys. 15 seconds. Keep moving. Good. 5, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Last move. Last move. A lot of plank today. A lot of planks today. We're going into those shoulder taps. Remember, we can be in that full plank where your entire body is elevated, or you can do the plank from your knees. The only thing I'm worried about is that your shoulders are right over your wrists. You don't want to have your arms too far out, putting a lot of shoulder in your front delts. 3, 2, and 1. Keeping it nice and tight. Notice how I'm not rotating. Obviously, when you're lifting at one of your hands, your body naturally wants to shift to one of those directions, but you want to make sure you keep your core nice and engaged and keep going from side to side. We got 15 seconds. 15 seconds. So keep breathing, keep taking your time, intentional with your movements. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna rest here for a second. Breath, and then we're gonna do this all over again. We're gonna do it all over again. So grab some water, take about another 20 seconds, and then we'll get started with round 2. We have the squats up. Don't forget, squats up next. All right, 10 seconds. Back on our feet, back up, getting ready, squat. Hopefully we can get a little bit deeper this time. We've stretched, we've done it already. 3, 2, 1. Nice deep squat. I'm squeezing my glutes at the top. And notice, even though I'm squeezing my glutes, I'm still not thrusting my hips forward. You won't have too much trouble when you're doing body weight, but as you start loading, you're gonna hurt your hips if you thrust your hips too far forward. So you should stand up, squeeze your glutes, bring it back down. Three, 2, and rest. Going back into those hand release push-ups. Hand release push-ups. Remember, from your knees or full plank. Both are effective. 3, 2, 1. Lowering it down. My elbows are staying tucked nice close to my rib cage. Releasing my hand, pushing it right back up. Good. Keeping my core nice and tight. Good. We have 8 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breathe. All right. Letters. Letter kicks. Up next. Working on the core, lower back. This is going to strengthen your lower back and your abdomen. A lot of people don't realize that your lower back is considered your core, and from sitting all day, it gets really weak. So this is a great exercise to strengthen. 3, 2, 1. I'm looking at my toes. My shoulder blades are elevated off the ground. My hands are underneath my glutes. And I'm not touching my feet to the ground. I'm keeping all the tension in your core. You need a second? Bring your knees in, breathe, go right back out. We're here for 15 more seconds. Three, two, one. All right. You're halfway there. 3 more moves, guys. 3 more moves. 15 seconds. Going back into those reverse lunges. All right. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big step back. My chest is staying up nice and tall, not leaning forward. Stepping straight back. My knee is not touching the ground, right above the ground. Keeping the tension in our quads. Driving through the heels. And breathing. Almost there. We got 10 seconds. Three, 2, and 1. All right. We got those inchworms. Inchworms. 2 more moves. 2 more moves. If you got this move down and feel comfortable, I want to challenge you to go a little bit faster, get your heart rate up. I mean, I'm sure it's up now, but let's just challenge ourselves. Go a little bit faster in these inchworms. And let's go. We're going to walk it out. Bring it back. Stand, squeeze. Keeping everything tight. We are halfway there. Keep moving. Last 15. Walking all the way out. 5 seconds. We got time for 1 more. Let's go. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Let's bring it down. We have those shoulder taps. Shoulder taps. Last move. We got 10 seconds on the clock. Okay. 3, 2, and 1. Slow and controlled. Breathing. Keeping your core nice and tight. Remember again, it's okay to go down to your knees, just making sure your shoulders right over your wrists. We are here for 10 more seconds, guys. 3, 2, and 1. All right, nice job, nice job. I know I'm sweating already, sweating just from those 2 rounds, those 6 moves. But I wanted to just give you guys a little snippet of things that you can do straight from home. As you see, we didn't need any weight. It was still effective. You still worked up a sweat. I'm sure you're breathing a little heavy. It doesn't take much. You don't need to be in a gym to get a good workout in. And it's just crucial to try to get in at least 45 minutes of exercise, moving your body, moderately intense exercise every single day, especially if you're in a job where you're sitting 8 to 9 hours a day. Like I said, that was me, and I definitely had a lot of issues after 10 years of sitting for so long, which is part of the reason why I made the switch to personal training. But I can't stress enough the importance of moving your body and just maintaining that movement throughout the day, every day. And obviously, you can't do these moves if you don't have time to do a workout at work. Just anything, getting a desk that stands up, that raises up, where you can stand and kind of move your feet, taking every 30 minutes, trying to stand up and just like stretch in your chair, or going to an area if you can and doing that stretch that I just taught you today. Taking the stairs instead of elevator. There's just so many little things that we can incorporate in the workplace or after the workplace to help combat all the issues that come with being sedentary every single day, 8 hours a day. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this workout, and I hope that you guys will incorporate some of these things into your routine every single day. That way we can feel good and keep our bodies feeling amazing with how much older we get.
Thank you so much, Kristen. This was extremely helpful. I broke a sweat, was not expecting that. I thought it was great, and I could see myself doing these moves. We took only a half hour. This is something you can do on your lunch break. If you have questions and you want to contact Kristen, you can reach out to her on Instagram at Hype Fitness. We'll go ahead and tag that here on the recording. You can take a look at her handle in the chat. And join us again next Wednesday for another Wellness Wednesday. Thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you. Bye, guys.